Member Secretary, AICTE, and from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Tankeshwar Kumar. We also witnessed the AICTE inaugural program, the Faculty Development Program. Now, we will hear from our first expert, Dr. Rajneesh Arora, Leadership from Academic Excellence. To introduce our guest, I would request research scholar Ms. Priyanka from Department of Civil Engineering to come forward.
Okay. Thank you, Ashmit. So, good morning, everyone. My warm welcome to all. Indeed, it's my privilege to honor today's expert, Dr. Rajneesh Arora, Managing Director at Amritsar College of Engineering and Technology and Chairman of National Coordination Committee for Induction Program AICTE. Before starting this session, let's talk about the outstanding journey of his career. Dr. Rajneesh Arora did BTech and PhD in Renewable Energy and Sustainable Development from IIT Delhi. During initial years of young life, he dedicated 13 years for social reform, of which worked for 10 long years for the development of tribal villages of Jharkhand, and co-founded a social organization called Vikas Bharati. Even after 40 years, the organization continues to set milestones. He also worked at Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. During his tenure at GNDU as training and placement officer, he established a culture of companies of national and international repute coming for campus placements. Dr. Rajneesh Arora has he also been the Vice Chancellor of Punjab Technical University. Among other benchmarks, he implemented a course on human values in 2011. Besides all this, he keeps on motivating universities to incorporate universal human values in technical education around the country. So, I request Dr. Rajneesh Arora to enlighten us on the theme of leadership for academic excellence. Welcome you, sir.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं अजय जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर करें।
अरे ना फ्लैक्स ले जो है बा टैक्सी ले जो है बा अरे ये टैक्सी जो
Sir, is it visible now?
Ajay now it is visible. Now it's visible. Okay. Just make it full screen, please. Okay. Thank you. मेरी पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन जो है वो इंग्लिश में है और मुझे लगता है कि अपने सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स, जैसा सबसे अपेक्षित है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में, हम एक से अधिक भाषाएं जानते हैं, तो आप सब पार्टिसिपेंट्स हिंदी समझ सकते होंगे, लेकिन फिर भी अगर किसी को कठिनाई होगी तो मैं उसकी रिस्पेक्ट करते हुए मैं हिंदी की जगह इंग्लिश में भी बोलूँगा। परंतु अगर सबको सुविधा है तो मैं अपनी बात आपको दिखाई देगी इंग्लिश में, लेकिन हिंदी में मैं आपसे करूँगा। जैसा कि मुझे बताया गया है कि ये अपना सेशन 1 बजे तक है। मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि 12:30 से पहले अपनी बात पूरी कर लूँ और फिर आधा घंटा हम लोग बातचीत कर सकें और उससे आधे घंटे से ज़्यादा भी हम कर सकें। Okay, I am getting messages that I should speak in English. So I'll speak bilingually, I'll speak in English also. I respect all such participants also. Okay, I respect the participants. So in this session, this FDP, because this is the first session after inaugural, leadership and teamwork for education excellence. So I find 4 keywords in it. Next slide, Ajay ji. Ajay ji, please change this. It is excellence, and I'll see that excellence for us as teachers means individual excellence as well as collective excellence. Because it is not only that we are working to have individual performers in the society, but we are working to have team workers in the society. We are to get the output of collective excellence, excellence from a group. So when we talk about education excellence, that means the output must be at the individual level as well as the collective level. And then the second is about leadership. Third keyword is teamwork. And not the last, but it is the most important. This is education. That is the process of development. The process of moving from starting stage to the stage of excellence. So I'll talk about all the four keywords. Next, please. So excellence, when we say, which is individual as well as collective excellence. So at the level of individual, we talk about full human potential. Next, आप change करते जाइए अजय जी. हाँ. So at the level of individual, the excellence means the person must be able to develop not only his or her skills, but their conscious also. It is not only the skills, but the mindset also. And towards what? The development towards happiness and prosperity in continuity. We may be happy or we feel prosperous at one time or the other, but the excellence is to have happiness and prosperity in continuity. This is at the individual level. But at the collective level, at the level of the society, where we would like to have an equitable and just society, एक समतापूर्ण और न्यायपूर्ण समाज के लिए अपने को क्या चाहिए? In every individual, right understanding and right feeling. And at the level of every family, there has to be a feeling of prosperity. Whatever is my requirement, whatever is my physical requirement, they must be fulfilled. I have the capacity to fulfill them. So that is the thing which is the desired goal at the collective level when we start our collective life at the level of family. And then we move to the life of the stage of society. And in the stage, we all desire to have a feeling of fearlessness. That means a feeling of trust with each other. And then we are not only there in the human beings, but we are part and parcel of rest of nature also. And while interacting with nature, we must have a feeling of coexistence, that is a feeling of mutual fulfillment. So this is the excellence at the level of individual and at the level of society, at the level of nature also. So first I say the happiness within ourselves and to have the conditions of happiness around ourselves. And this kind of equitable and just society, समतापूर्ण और न्यायपूर्ण समाज ही राष्ट्र के निर्माण की ओर बढ़ता है. It leads to development of nation. And what is the development of nation? That means harmony within the nation, देश के अंदर व्यवस्था का होना, and then we can be complementary to the other nations so that they can also have harmony within themselves. Or say kind of meaning. And this is the first line in the first paragraph on the first page of National Education Policy. Next. When we see the document of National Education Policy, which was announced in 2020, the first line it says, education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. So that means when we talk about education excellence, that means we have to move from today's stage to the stage of excellence. That is the stage of three aspirations of National Education Policy: full human potential, that means development at the level of conscious also, and continuously having a feeling of happiness and prosperity, and developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. And I have defined all these three words with you beforehand. Now the next keyword is leadership. Now when I say leadership, the three things come to my mind. Next slide, please. One is leadership of the self. If I am not in control of my own self, I cannot guide others. I cannot lead others. So leadership starts from my leadership of myself. And that means understanding of the self and understanding of harmony within myself. If I am in conflict within myself, I cannot have any kind of leadership quality. तो इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं मेरा स्वत्व. What I am, मैं हूं क्या? So that must be understood. To have right kind of leadership, or I should say that to have any kind of leadership, I must be conscious about myself. And if I have conflict within myself, it does not move forward. So first is knowing myself, understanding myself, and then living in accordance of myself and living in harmony within, not having any conflict when I am living as per myself. So that is my independence, that is my freedom, that is my स्वतंत्रता. पहले मुझे स्वत्व का पता होता है, फिर मुझे स्वतंत्रता का पता होता है. ये स्वतंत्रता को जब हम गहराई में समझते हैं तो ये मनमानी नहीं है, ये स्वच्छंदता नहीं है. This is to have harmony within ourselves. So that is the steps towards leadership. And then the next thing is making effort for it collectively. When I can understand myself, then I can help my students, then I can help my colleagues, then I can help my team members, so that they can also understand themselves. They can also understand themselves. I can live as per myself, as per my understanding about myself, and I can make effort for it collectively. And then living in harmony at all levels. That means at the level of myself, not having any conflict within myself, at the level of my workplace, my team members, at the level of my family, with my parents, with my wife, with my children, and at the level of my locality, my village, my city, my district, my state, and then ultimately having harmony within the nation and help other nations to have harmony within themselves. That is called Swarajya. So Swatva, what is myself, and then Swatantrata, and then Swarajya. So this is the steps towards leadership. So these are the key words. First keyword was excellence, then it was leadership, and now I'll come to the teamwork. So when we say teamwork, there are again issues. So teamwork starts with the understanding of relationship. What is my relationship with others? What exactly do I mean by relationship? And then whatever is my understanding in relationship, is it just give and take? I will give you and you will give me, or is it something else? And then living in relationship. First understanding the relationship, then living in relationship. And when we live in relationship, that has very definite kind of aspects. For any kind of teamwork, we start with trust. If I don't trust with my team member, if I don't trust with the other person, I cannot have any teamwork with him or her. And then from trust, it goes to respect. I evaluate each other. How can we complementary to each other? That is the respect for each other. First, I ask whether all my participants can understand Hindi or not. Some of them said it's better if you speak in English. So I respect them. Then only the team can evolve among ourselves. And then I must have an affection for my team. I have glory of the team. I know what are their achievements. They are not starting from zero. No one is starting from zero. So I know their qualities also. And then I am also ready to get the guidance from elders, and I am ready to provide the guidance to my juniors. And then ultimately, the final value in the teamwork is love. Love for all. Those who are working not with me, I love them also. Those who are working with me, I love them also. And those who are opposing me, I love them also. That is the ultimate stage of teamwork. So that's how we understand excellence. That's how we understand leadership. And that's how we understand teamwork with themselves. And the fourth keyword is education. I'm just talking about the keywords. Now, education is the process. Education is the process through which we move with the team, having leadership within ourselves, and to reach to the excellence. Now, in this education, when it is for all, when it is not for a specific purpose, because we are talking about the next generation in our universities, in our colleges, we are not preparing them just for becoming a clerk like in British Raj, or just becoming a cog in a wheel, but we are preparing them, that next generation, for the well-being of all. So that starts with the right kind of worldview, which is humane worldview. So how to view the world around? हमारी वैश्विक दृष्टि क्या है, हमारा पर्सपेक्टिव क्या है, हमारा वर्ल्ड विजन क्या है? Then as per our world view, as per our world vision, we evolve values in ourselves. That means we see what is valuable for me and what is not valuable for me. And that is our human values. When I am to live with the human being for rest of my life, for the whole life, I must know that what is valuable for me as a human being. And when I have to live as per those values, I have to live for those things which are valuable for me, I must have skills with me. And those skills are, if they are value guided skills, then I can live as per my values. So this whole component becomes the part and parcel of the education process. All the three things are essential for full human personality. A personality having right world vision, having right values, and then having right skills to live by those values. So such people are competent to contribute towards the human society as a team, towards human culture, so that it becomes an environment, it becomes an automatic thing from generation to generation, from family to family, and it becomes a human civilization. That means a just and equitable society, a समतापूर्ण और न्यायपूर्ण समाज जो मेरे अंदर से शुरू होता है, मेरे शिक्षक से पढ़ के. From the teacher, I understand those values and skills. I prepare myself. I become graduate from the university, and then I participate in the society and at all levels, at workplace, within the family, within my locality, within my village, within my city, district, state, and to the nation. And my nation becomes so much in harmony that it can help other nations, which is the stage of Vishwa Guru Bharat. So that is the direction of education excellence, which is expected from our National Education Policy 2020. So that's how I see education moving, providing leadership to the education through teamwork and moving towards education excellence in the society. So next, please. Ajay ji. So ये मैंने आपके साथ. Now, when we see what is the stage today, what is happening today? Today in our education, this first two parts, the world vision and the values, this is the crucial missing link. That is why the kind of focus on skills for our life, for living in life, Are we able to provide right kind of skills? And are we getting the students coming out of our colleges and universities, the graduates, are they able to contribute to the society which is equitable and just society, or exploiting themselves and exploiting others, exploiting nature? What is happening? And then what is happening at the level of the nation? Are we able to resolve our conflicts within the nation? Are we able to help others to resolve their conflicts? So we find that the starting point is missing. That is the reason that AICTE has taken initiative to talk to specifically with the engineering and management students. I'm happy that I'm talking with the in the FDP, which is being organized by School of Engineering and Technology of the Central University of Haryana at Mahendragarh. And this is the initiative of AICTE to fill up this crucial missing link of right kind of word vision and right kind of values. तो उस दृष्टि से ये जो सारा प्रयास है, ये मैं आपके साथ इस सेशन में शेयर करना चाहूंगा. नेक्स्ट. इसमें हम लोग 3 काम करते हैं. We are taking 3 steps. First is talking to our students about universal human values. This we have time tested in education at national level in now almost 40 universities we have done. Now it is being done in about 4,000 colleges. So we are talking about those values which are universal in nature. We might have learned from our forefathers, we might have learned from our parents, from our teachers, from anywhere. But these values are universal. They are applicable to all parts of the world. They are applicable to Asia, Australia, America, Africa, Europe, any part of the world. They are rational in nature. They are not being imposed because someone has said this. No, I can understand it and I can discuss it with you, and so that you can also understand it. They appeal to human reasoning and they are verifiable. When I live as per those values, those universal human values, I am able to achieve the desired goals of continuous happiness and continuous prosperity in my life. And it is all encompassing. It deals with my thoughts, it deals with my behavior, it deals with my actions, it deals with my experience. And it leads to harmony at all levels. It resolves conflicts within myself, within my family, within my society, within the nature. And these kind of values can be discussed with our students in our classrooms. And when we talk about this course of universal human values, which is being shared, which is in the model curriculum of AICTE for all the engineering colleges in the country. And the second thing is to discuss with the students. Next slide, please. To discuss with the students about the case studies of the case studies of human thought, human culture, specifically from our own environment, from our own Indian knowledge system, the efforts of human culture over thousands of years in our tradition, which are there. So they include local, regional, national, international examples, which are focused on well-being of all, which are focused on Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, which are focused on, in Punjab we say Sarbatada Bhala, which is not for any particular specific group of people. It is for all. It is for the whole humanity. So those case studies are discussed with the students during this course. And the third step is then students are encouraged. Third step, next slide. Next, please. Then students are encouraged to adopt for those value guided skills. Now, today's problem that our students come across various cultures in the world. When students come to the college, the students come to the university from any background, they come across urban culture, city culture, Western culture, liberal culture, Bollywood culture, traditional and rural Indian culture they have been exposed in their families, and so many other things. And today the problem is that one culture tends to compare with the other culture, and then they say my culture is better than yours. The rural tradition are much better than the city tradition. That kind of thing. That when we start comparing and be opposed to them, that mine is better. We Indians are much better than the Western people. So that kind of sentences are being, instead of that, the basic assumption here is that yes, the thoughts are different, even though there are commonalities at the core. The commonalities at the core are being discussed in the classroom of universal human values. The conflict is at the level of expression and detail. So if we are able to understand that commonality, then the situation becomes that we are able to understand that it is imperative that we have to appreciate the different approaches and achievements to whatever level a culture has realized the basic human values of truth, love, and compassion. So it can be a difference of expression, but at the core, the three basic things are there: truth, love, and compassion. So if there is a gap, instead of just criticizing it, we have to become complementary to them. We have to help to fill up those gaps, and rather than to compare, to criticize or reject them. So that's how we come out with a teamwork with people from any background. That's how we can lead that teamwork, which leads to excellence. Excellence means where we can live together happily and in prosperity and continuously, not in one phase or the other phase. So the universal human values effort, which I am sharing with you, which is leading to excellence through teamwork. Next, this is the background of there. Next slide, please. Now, on the basis of this kind of viewpoint, then we ask our students that now you try to select those skills based on those values. So that means the skill education will be value guided skills. That means those skills which are nature friendly skills, those skills which are people friendly practices, where neither you are exploiting anyone nor you are being exploited by anyone. So that kind of skill education is we are trying to expose the students towards that direction. And because of that, students are able to participate in the society so that we can have equitable and just society and a developed nation, which is aspiration of National Education Policy, which has been announced in 2020. So these three steps for holistic value-based education. Next, Ajay Bansal. Here, when we talk about value-guided skills, that doesn't mean the traditional low-level skills. That means the world-class value-guided skills, which has 4 aspects. Number 1 is that these skills must lead to environmentally responsible science, technology, and management for mutual prosperity. That means the prosperity of the human beings and prosperity of the nature. And within the human beings also, prosperity of the provider and prosperity of the consumer. So mutual prosperity is the purpose of having those skills which are environmentally responsible science, based on environmentally responsible science and technology. Then the second is we must have skills, world-class value-guided skills, which are socially responsible behavioral skills, which lead to teamwork, collaboration. We are not going for just individual performers in the society. We have to evolve team workers. and that is for mutual fulfillment. That I am a part of a bigger team. Any small, even a small project can be completed excellently if there is a team. And for team, there must be mutual fulfillment. Each and every team member must feel that together each one achieves more, which generally you learn from team. So this is the skill. So that skill must come out from our schools and universities. And the third, that world-class value-guided skills is skills for meaningful participation in the family, neighborhood, institution, workplace, community, etc., all the way to the nation and beyond. So we know our science and technology, we are good team workers, and then as a team, we can participate in the larger order at the level of family, institution, workplace, state, nation level. And this both, it is the orientation and skills. Orientation means mindset, and the skills for service. I have plenty, whatever is my physical needs, I can fulfill it. Now I can give it to my family. I can serve my parents. I can serve my family. I can serve my children. I can serve my neighborhood. I can serve my city. I can serve my state. I can serve my nation. So that is the orientation and skills for service, which promotes harmony in family, society, and at all levels. So that is the world-class value-guided skills, which I just wanted to share with you, which we do in our course when we talk about universal human values with our students of engineering and management in our AICTE approved colleges. Next slide, please. Ajay ji. Can you change the slide, please? I think there is some problem in slide sharing. I have attempted. Yes. Now we have talked about here about the common graduate attributes and discipline specific attributes. There are some attributes which we must be conscious whether we are teaching to the students of arts, to the students of commerce, to the students of engineering or medicine or law or for any discipline. So these are essential for all the students if we are going to have right kind of, we're going to have excellence at the collective level, at the level of the society. And then there are some specific in the discipline-wise attributes also. So one is common attribute, holistic vision of life. I am not just a body. I am conscious having a body. So that kind of holistic vision. I am not an individual as such. I am part of a larger order. I am part of a family. I am part of this institution. I am part of this nation. I am part of my locality. Then second is socially responsible behavior, environmentally responsible work, ethical human conduct, having competence and capabilities for meaningful health and hygiene. I am conscious, I am having a responsibility of my body. And the kind of thing which we have seen in Corona, the way we are ignorant about our own health. So that is not expected from an educated society. So that means we have to be very careful about our health and hygiene as well. And sixth is respect for excellence, respect for merit, and gratitude for all. So that's how, because we are getting something or the other from everybody all around. So we have to have a feeling of gratitude for all. These six we could enlist as a common graduate attribute. Some of them are there in the discipline wise also. I will not waste time just participating about all these things. Like communication skills or individual and teamwork, they are included in common attributes also. So this is to be developed for each stage, first year to fourth year of our all courses. It is for all the disciplines. So that's how we have to we have to evaluate ourselves when our students are coming out after getting degree from a Central University of Haryana or from my Amritsar group of colleges, whether they are conscious about all those attributes or not. That leads to excellence. And here we have to provide leadership for that. Next slide, please. I will try to complete it by 12:30 so that we can have some time for question answer session also. अब हम देखें कि आज अपना crisis क्या है? What is the crisis? And we are finding crisis at all levels. At the level of individual, we are finding aimlessness. We are finding confusion, tension, frustration, depression, alcoholism, substance abuse. That's a drug kind of problem. Obesity, suicidal tendencies. All such things are visible at the individual level among our youth. Then there is a crisis of human relationship. There's a feeling of opposition, feeling of reaction, anger, strife, court cases, divorces. All these issues are because of lack of understanding of relationship. So if we can have that kind of teamwork, we can learn teamwork in our schools and universities, we will not find such problems in our life after that. And at the level of society, we are finding the problem of population, uneven densities, increasing gap between rich and poor, fear from crime, fear from so many other. And unfortunately, in some parts of the world, we are finding genocides also, domination, exploitation, leading to terrorism, war, etc., etc. And then our own relationship with rest of the nature, water, air pollution, depletion of resources, climate change, global warming. Now they are all symptoms of problems in our education system. Whosoever is responsible in that, contributing to these problems, they have all come out from some education system, from some schools or from some colleges. So what do we think? These problems are unrelated to each other, or are they related to each other, having some basic root cause? So when we go deeper into it, when we try to see into it, then we find that there's a deeper root cause in it. Next slide, please. They are not unrelated problems, starting from individual to the problems of nature. Crucial role of universal human values in holistic value-based education. This universal human values course is the crucial missing link of value education, holistic world vision. So we have to have, unless we have that holistic world vision in our life, we will not become solution providers. At one place or the other, we ourselves become problem creators. It provides the basis, it provides the base and details for a human knowledge system, a target or endpoint, a criteria for evaluating any knowledge system, learning from it and making effort for its completeness. So first we have to learn about what is human knowledge system. Then whatever knowledge system comes in front of us, we can evaluate it. We can evaluate it with some parameter. If there is a gap, we can have the responsibility to complete it instead of just rejecting it or criticizing it. It provides the guidelines for skill education. And the guidelines are nature friendly and human friendly. Learning it and then doing it, practicing it. And the scope of this skill education is behavior for mutual fulfillment, teamwork, collaboration, science, technology, management for mutual prosperity, service, that is seva, which promotes harmony in family and society, and meaningful participation in family, neighborhood, institution, workplace, community, etc., all the way to the nation and beyond. So those problems if they have one root cause, then this root cause of our right kind of bird vision. And next is, and that crucial missing link has to be fulfilled. Next. Now, I know that participants are not from Central University of Haryana. CUH is just the organizer. But these are expectations from any university in the country. So it is not specific to the CUH. It is just the slide heading. But we are doing at AICTE, so we expect others also, if they can also do it. We have started. That is the leadership role which AICTE is taking for this kind of having team in the country. A mandatory 3-week student induction program for all newly joined students, which includes two courses. One is a UHV 1 introductory course on universal human values, and 2 is IKS 1. This is Introduction to Indian Culture and Civilization with some present practices. So these 2 courses are taught to the students of first year in any course, so that first they come to know about universal human values, and then they come to know about their own Indian knowledge system. And the next is a UHV 2 course on universal human values, which is Understanding Harmony and Ethical Human Conduct. It is a mandatory 3-credit course for all students during any one of the semesters, first, second, third, or fourth semester, any one semester. This is offered to the students of first year or second year. The first 2 courses are just at the beginning in the first semester itself. Then there is another course, IKS 2. It is Indian Culture and Civilization with its knowledge system and traditions. This is a non-credit mandatory course for all students during first year or second year. And courses on sustainable technology and management at least offer open electives. So there are so many other courses which have been designed on sustainable technologies and sustainable management practices. That means preparing students for life and not just for jobs. If they are prepared for law, they will not only become job seekers, but they will become job providers in the life. That is the expectation from teachers. That is the expectation from us all who are custodians of technical education in the country. So this is our steps to introduce and strengthen that missing link of our education system. Next is, so that's the whole thing I just wanted to share with you to initiate the discussion. That's how we are working in a team. We are working to evolve a bigger team to a larger team. As I told you that today in more than 40 universities in the 10 states in the country, AICTE has taken leadership role towards excellence in education and this education of universal human values. That's what I wanted to share with you. And now I'm ready for the questions. I'm happy that I have now 40 minutes for the question and answer session. तो आप लोग हिंदी में भी प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं, इंग्लिश में भी पूछ सकते हैं. अगर आप किसी भी और लैंग्वेज में पूछेंगे तो भी हम रास्ता निकाल लेंगे, because it's a central university. So we have participants from Odisha, Kerala, or Karnataka. So if you can ask questions in Marathi, Odia, or Assamese also, we can find ways. So language is not a barrier when we talk about universal human values. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My question is, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is regarding the Indian knowledge system.
Yes.
Yeah, I did my PhD and postdoc in Indian culture, right? So, what is the specific qualification for Indian knowledge system? For example, IIT Gandhinagar also run a different courses on Indian knowledge system, and also Central Technological University Gujarat also run with these courses. So, what is the specific degrees available in Indian knowledge system in our country?
Uh, Thank you, Shripadji. Shripadji, you are from which institution?
Actually, I'm a ICHR research scholar. Currently, I'm doing a research project on history.
Very good, Shripadji. Shripadji, the courses which I talked about, these are 3 credit courses which can be offered to any student in their during their degree. The degree can be of science, it can be a BSc, BCom, or BTech, or from any discipline. So what we are doing is we are doing it for engineering and management students in AICT in BTech program. So they are doing it. They are ultimately doing their degree for electrical engineering. They are doing it for mechanical engineering. But to become a good mechanical engineer, to become a good civil engineer, so they must be exposed to 2 things. One, the universal human values which are applicable everywhere. The second, the expression of universal human values in our Indian tradition as per our conditions at that time, or in that particular state, in that particular context, in that particular climate. And these are the 2 basic things which must be taught to each and every student. And you are right that many institutions are doing such kind of efforts. It is being done in IIT Gandhinagar. It is being done in Gujarat Technical University also. All these efforts are complementary to each other. They are not contradictory to each other. So I am really thankful that you had shared this information about the other institutions also. Thank you.
Sir, my question is, for example, I want to apply for teaching position in IIT and other things. So, what is the basic qualification for this Indian knowledge system courses? Right.
Yes, the basic qualification, because it's an emerging area. So it all depends upon that particular department and the people who are working over there. Today, in AICTE approved institutions, where I am doing this part, here the teachers are not coming specifically for Indian knowledge system. All the teachers, whether they are teaching mathematics or they are teaching physics or chemistry, we try to train them in faculty development programs of 8-day face-to-face program or 5-day online program. I just started today. We start our session from Monday, every Monday, and it has closing ceremony on every Friday. It's 5-day week. So if you are interested, I can invite you. I can share link with you regarding that FDP program. So it all depends upon institution to institution and to discipline to discipline, because it's an emerging area. So the all such kind of you can say regulations have not been formed as yet. It's an evolving thing.
Because because my PhD and postdoc is in Indian culture studies. But IKS is a lot of domains are there, na? Architecture, culture, and lot of domains are there.
You're right, very right. You're right. I can interact with you on phone later on WhatsApp, etc. I can share my phone number, WhatsApp number on chat box. Anyone can interact with me afterwards also, because it can be wasteful for others. So
Please share, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
I have shared my WhatsApp number here. It's 7696061995. So for any specific purpose, you can contact me directly. Any other question I would like to have from any part of the country? at present we have 95 participants, so I can if I have
Sir,
95 we can have 94 questions.
Sir, number again, sir, please. 76.
Okay, it is there in the chat box, you can note it down.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Good afternoon,
questions are
sir.
there in chat box.
Okay.
Hello.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
Yes.
मैं अपर्णा समुद्र बात कर रही हूँ।
हाँ जी।
थोड़ा सा शायद ये क्वेश्चन कंट्रोवर्शियल भी हो सकता है, लेकिन
हाँ
मैं
जी।
आपको एक ग्राउंड रियलिटी शेयर करना चाहूंगी। नॉट अ क्वेश्चन बट एक ग्राउंड
हाँ जी।
रियलिटी शेयर करना चाहूंगी सर। मैं
हाँ
नागपुर
जी।
से बात कर रही हूँ।
ठीक है अपर्णा जी।
जैसे आई विल रियली अप्रिशिएट द एफर्ट्स व्हिच द करंट government and AICTE and as well as UGC is bringing in to inculcate in our students about the Indian culture, which was missing to a lot of extent till now. But फिर होता है कि जैसे हम हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में जब इन चीज़ों को करिकुलम में ऐड करने की कोशिश करते हैं या एज एन इंडिविजुअल टीचर हम इसको स्टूडेंट्स के साथ शेयर करने जाते हैं, तो हमको बहुत ऑपोजिशन मिलता है विद इन द सिस्टम एंड इवन थ्रू द मीडिया, जहाँ पे हम इंडियन कल्चर, इंडियन ईथोस को हिंदू के साथ उसको जोड़ा जाता है। तो हमको बहुत ऑपोजिशन ऐसा आता है कि आप हिंदू कल्चर बता रहे हैं, जो उस फेथ के लोग नहीं हैं वो उसको बड़ा अपोज करते हैं सर। तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा कहीं पे इसको मेरे को लगता है कि बताने की जरूरत है ग्राउंड लेवल पे और माइक्रो लेवल पे कि इंडियन इज नॉट इक्वल टू हिंदू, क्योंकि हमको ऐसा ही बोला जाता है कि आप हिंदुइज्म बता रही हैं, आप हिंदू कल्चर बता रही हैं, आप स्टूडेंट्स जो फेथ दूसरे फेथ के हैं उनके ऊपर आप अपना हिंदू फिलॉसफी को इम्पोज कर रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक समवेयर आप लोग रेगुलेटरी बॉडी में हैं, समवेयर इट नीड्स टू बी डिसेमिनेटेड टू अदर फेथ्स आल्सो, दैट हम जो बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, जैसे AICTE के थ्रू आपने मैंडेटरी कोर्सेज बताए इंडक्शन में, ये सब हिंदू के साथ रिलेटेड नहीं है। दे आर बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडियन कल्चर एंड इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम विच आई। तो ऐसा हमने बहुत देखा है पोजीशन और फेस किया है सर, ये इसके लिए मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहती थी।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा किया आपने शेयर किया। और जब फैकल्टी मेंबर्स इकट्ठे बात करते हैं, ये एक FDP है, यूनिवर्सिटी का एकेडमिक प्रोग्राम है, तो इसमें कोई भी कंट्रोवर्सी की बात नहीं होती है, हम सब अपना अपना ओपिनियन रखते हैं। तो बहुत अच्छा आपने ये सवाल किया। ऐसा है कि इसीलिए हमने जब AICTE में काम शुरू किया तो हमने फर्स्ट स्टेप पर यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज को लिया। तो जैसा मैंने आपको 3 स्टेप्स बताए, तो पहला स्टेप UHV का है, दूसरा स्टेप IKS का है और तीसरा स्टेप वैल्यू गाइडेड स्किल्स का है। तो ये तीनों का पूरा पैकेज है। जब हम सिर्फ आइसोलेशन में इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम को लेके जाते हैं तो वास्तव में ऐसी कंट्रोवर्सीज आती हैं, क्योंकि पहले की कंडीशनिंग है, ठीक है, पहले का एक वातावरण है, हम 200 साल गुलाम रहे, जो भी हमारे यहाँ पर जैसा भी वातावरण रहा। तो सबसे पहले कि भाई दुनिया में होना क्या चाहिए, आपको क्या ठीक लगता है। हम जब यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज में दोनों बातें इंपॉर्टेंट है, कंटेंट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है और एक प्रोसेस भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो कंटेंट में क्या है कि ये जितने भी बात कही जा रही है, जो टीचर स्टूडेंट को कहता है, वो बात केवल भारत की नहीं है, वो बात सब जगह की है, वो तुम्हारे अपने अंदर भी है। मैं तुम्हारे साथ शेयर कर रहा हूं क्योंकि मैंने समझा है, इसलिए नहीं शेयर कर रहा हूं कि कोई विवेकानंद ने कहा है या महात्मा गांधी ने कहा है या कबीर जी ने कहा है या गुरु नानक देव जी ने कहा है या संत ज्ञानेश्वर ने कहा है, बल्कि एज ए टीचर मैं इसलिए शेयर कर रहा हूं क्योंकि इसको मैंने समझा है और मैं तुमको इम्पोज नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं तुमको एनकरेज कर रहा हूं सेल्फ एक्सप्लोरेशन के लिए कि तुम्हें ये ठीक लगता है कि नहीं लगता है। जस्ट एक्सप्लोर इट विद इन योरसेल्फ कि दुनिया कंपटीशन से आगे बढ़ेगी, एक्सेलेंस की तरफ हम कंपटीशन से जा सकते हैं या कॉपरेशन से जा सकते हैं। कंपटीशन में क्या क्या करते हैं हम और कॉपरेशन से क्या क्या करते हैं हम, इसीलिए मैंने जब पहले एक्सेलेंस शब्द लिखा, तो जनरली जब एक्सेलेंस शब्द हमारे विद्यार्थी सुनते हैं तो वो इंडिविजुअल एक्सेलेंस को सोचते हैं। तो एक्चुअली भाई क्या इंडिविजुअल एक्सेलेंस से आदमी सही रह सकेगा? नहीं, एक्सेलेंस जो है वो कलेक्टिव एक्सेलेंस की बात होती है। तो हमें इंडिविजुअली भी एक्सेलेंट होना है और हमें कलेक्टिवली भी एक्सेलेंस होना है, नहीं तो हम जिंदा ही नहीं रहेंगे। नहीं तो ये क्लाइमेट चेंज और पॉल्यूशन और डोमिनेशन और टेररिज्म और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, ये डाइवोर्स, ये क्यों है? क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पर इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मर्स बहुत सारे हुए, लेकिन कलेक्टिव एक्सेलेंस की तरफ ध्यान नहीं दिया। तो ये बताओ भाई, कंपटीशन से इंडिविजुअल एक्सेलेंस तो हो सकता है कुछ मात्रा में, थोड़ी देर के लिए लहे, और फर्स्ट आने के बाद, सबसे अमीर बनने के बाद भी डाइवोर्स होते हैं और सुसाइड्स होते हैं। तो इसका मतलब है कि एक्सेलेंस को पूरी तरह से समझा नहीं। और क्योंकि ये एफडीपी एक्सेलेंस पर है, तो इसलिए कलेक्टिव एक्सेलेंस को समझना और उसके साथ शेयर करना स्टूडेंट के साथ। नाउ देयर इज नथिंग हिंदू, मुस्लिम, कम्युनिस्ट, बीजेपी, नथिंग इन इट। We are talking about those universal human values which are valuable in America, in Africa, in Australia, in Asia, everywhere. The anger, is it the symptom of weakness or the symptom of strength? When you become angry, when you are hopeless, when you are not able to share your views in a proper volume, आप आराम से अपनी बात नहीं कह पा रहे हैं, आप ऊंचा बोलना शुरू कर देते हैं। तो ये जो ऐसी जो चीजें हैं, जो स्टेप बाय स्टेप बड़ा वो सिलेबस है, बड़ा उसका कंटेंट है, तो मैं आपसे ये निवेदन करूंगा, अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट है इस विषय में, तो आप अगर हमारा जो यूएचवी का 5 दिन का ऑनलाइन कोर्स है, हर मंडे को शुरू होता है, हर फ्राइडे को खत्म होता है, और उसमें हम जिस तरीके से शेयरिंग कर रहे हैं, तो हमें पिछले 15 सालों से हम ये काम कर रहे हैं, हमें कहीं पर भी कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं हुई, कहीं पर कोई अपोजिशन नहीं हुई, और वो बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है। और सबसे मजेदार बात यह है कि हम पहले, पैंडेमिक से पहले, हम ये कोर्स 8 दिन का करते थे, फेस टू फेस रेजिडेंशियल कोर्स होता था, वहीं सब लोग आते थे। और जब पैंडेमिक आया तो हमने ये कोर्स ऑनलाइन करना शुरू किया, एफडीपी, ऑल द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स पार्टिसिपेट इन इट। और उसमें आज हम 62nd कोर्स शुरू किया है, हमने 61 पूरे कर चुके हैं। 45,000 टीचर्स ने उसके अंदर पार्टिसिपेट किया है, और इस सारे दौरान में कहीं से, इधर से उधर से कोई अपोजिशन, कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं आई, क्योंकि हमने इसमें चीजें ध्यान रखी। पहले हम यूनिवर्सल को समझेंगे, उसके ऊपर हम अपने इंडियन सिस्टम को इवेल्युएट करेंगे कि वेदर is as per those universal essence, universal values or not, as per that universal worldview or not. If it is good for us and we are happy, it is from our forefathers, and if there is some gap in it, then it is our responsibility to fulfill that gap as a teacher, as an educationist. So that's how we go step by step, starting from universal human values, then an Indian education system, and then these value guided skills, which are nature friendly skills and human friendly skills. This whole package goes for holistic education. So holistic education doesn't go part by part. Thank you for pointing out this controversy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Mariappan.
Sir, myself Mariappan, yes, sir. I am from Tamil Nadu Kamaraj College of Engineering Technology, Virudhunagar.
Welcome.
Sir, I think the human values should be taught in the school level itself. Is there any initiation from the central government? Because a lot of initiations are taken for the college education. But what about the initiation taken in the school education? Because we had a Tamil class, Needhi Bodhane. It means what is moral. We had the classes in our school days, but it has been lifted out. So
you are very right. You are very right. I agree with you that these universal human values, this kind of value education, not only in schools, but it has to come to all the families. It also, because the children start learning values from the family itself. So it must come from at the earliest stage in life, from 3 years onwards kind of thing. Now for that, we need large number of parents who are exposed to these universal human values. And to have that kind of parents, we must have it in our school system. And to have in our school system, you know the number of schools in the country, it's in crores. So in those, in lakhs, and in those schools, you need that kind of teachers. It is not just passing of information. It is inculcating values from one generation to another generation. And you all know that the value inculcation process needs that whosoever is inculcating that values, he or she must have those values in their own life. It is not that they know the theory part of it. It is that they practice those values in their life. Then only it will go to the students. So you need large number of teachers. So all these parents and teachers, that means you have to deal with the grown-ups. So that's why we are taking up this task in higher education. When we are doing it in higher education, that means we are dealing with future parents, we are dealing with future school teachers, we are dealing with future policy makers. So that's how the things will come from government or from schools or from other places. So it is not the initiative of a Sarkari Babu, but it is the initiative of some teachers. Because of limitation of time, I could have shared with you the journey of universal human values. Actually, in 1981, and then it was 83, 84, when I know two teachers of IIT Delhi, Professor P.L. Dhar and Professor R.R. God, who were teachers of mechanical engineering. They started a audit course in, they were both were from mechanical engineering department. They started a course on science and humanism. And as a pre-PhD course, I was fortunate to be part of, as a student, part of their first batch. So they took it, getting feedback from students, and they improved it. And then in 2001, after effort of more than 15 years, Ministry of Education, they established 3 national resource centers for value education. One at IIT Delhi, one at IIM Lucknow, and another at NCRT Delhi. So NCRT Delhi was responsible for school education at the time. But among all these 3, IIT Delhi could do it more work. Then it went to IIT Kanpur, Triple IT Hyderabad, then UP Technical University took it. I was Vice Chancellor in Punjab Technical University. We did it. Now in 40 odd universities it is being done. Now AICTE has really taken it with a big way. So all such things go from one person to second person only when the values are inculcated in those people also. So that's how, thank you, Mariappanji. I agree with you that it must go from, and you mentioned about that moral education course in school level. So we all have, in all the states, that kind of courses were there.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir. Someone was trying to talk?
Sir,
okay.
Sir, there are some questions in chat box also.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the chat box. Okay. So I'll just complete that Mariappanji course and I'll see the chat box also. The Mariappanji, yes, there are courses, such kind of moral education courses, but they are mostly talking about beliefs or ideas, morals, etc., and storytelling. Here we try to have that part of understanding of those values and the theoretical background, so that the students can accept it with their own natural acceptance, and it leads to not discipline but to self-discipline kind of thing. So that's how it's different. So sorry, I'll now check the chat box also. Thank you for pointing
Thank you, sir.
out.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. There is a question from S. Khatnyarji. Can you clarify me about holistic vision of life with respect to common graduate attributes? Yes, this was the first. I will just touch upon it briefly. This is one, I'll say, that we need to be conscious that we are conscious having a body. And on the other hand side, when we don't have a holistic view of life, then we just consider ourselves as body, and we are conscious about just our body requirement, the requirement of food, shelter, clothing, housing, and medicine and education, kind of that also, or our vehicles, etc. So which are just required by our body, but the requirements of our, the trust, that is the love, care, affection, kind of thing are to be. That is the by view of life, and whole lecture on it. So just indicate towards it that we are not only body, but we are coexistence of body and conscious. This is holistic vision of life in brief or in one line, which can be discussed in that particular 5-day program. I invite all of you, those who will write to me, I'll send the link for or the schedule for next workshop. Okay. How then I have from Goswami Shailendra. It is written, how to understanding college level management system. I don't understand. Goswami ji, can you explain what you want to ask from it? How to understanding college level management system. Goswami ji, if you can unmute your mic and just explain your question. Okay, I'll go to the other question. It's from Shrikant Satish Kumar Darapu. I think it must be at all levels with different levels of understanding. Yes, you are right. When we talk about holistic way of life, holistic vision of life, we talk about at all levels of understanding of ourselves, understanding of our relationship with family, with society, and relationship with nature, existence. So yes, I agree with you that it is at all levels of society. Then there is a question from V. Chandrasekhar Rao. Is competition is good or bad for individual or collectively? We can discuss it in detail. I think it may be good for some time for an individual, but collectively it is never good, and for individual also it is temporarily good for one purpose. That's why the people say that don't compete with others, just compete with yourself. So then only you can move ahead. Okay. Then I have already talked about Khatnyarji, about holistic vision of life with respect to common graduate attributes. Yes, when we talked about those attributes, there we have this first itself. Then only we can have the requirements of our body and ourselves. College management system, I could not understand the question itself. If you can speak, I'll answer to that. There's a network problem, Goswami ji saying. Ajay ji, any other question or? Yes. Shrikant Satish Kumar, we have already talked about some light on Indian technical knowledge, indigenous technical knowledge. Now, this is also a very vast subject. Indigenous technical knowledge in civil engineering or metallurgy or other aspects of technical education are there. This is a whole 1 semester course of 3 credits. That means 3 hours per week contact hours are there. So I can't throw light on the whole system. But the only thing is that we are not just हम केवल सपेरों चरवाहों वाले समाज नहीं है. We have a very long tradition of science and technology in our country, and many things which are talked about may be or may not be proved. But don't worry, just talk about those things which are relevant today. So this is which is relevant today and which is relevant for future next generation. That must be learned, and we have to be. Sir, is indigenous technical knowledge a part of the course you were mentioning? Yes, the second course. One is universal human values is one course, and Indian knowledge system is the second course in it, where it is part of it. In AICTE, we have a separate cell on Indian knowledge system, and I can also share with you their phone number, etc. If you are interested, you can write to me on WhatsApp, and you can contact them directly. Work of police is based on, if police does not doubt on culprit, how it will work. I will not comment on the work of police today, but we have to be, if we are careful about ourselves, so we all have to police ourselves also. We need police for some context. I respect their role in the society, but this is not the forum to discuss these details for this purpose. So there can be many aspects of it, where it is just on the basis of doubt, the kind of system where you are arresting people just on doubt and they are lingering in jail for years and years without trial. So police is just part of a whole judicial system or of the whole administrative system. So just pointing out to police will not provide us answers. So we have to see the whole system of administration or system of judiciary in any part of the world. Ajay, just see if I can left out any question in the chat box. You can just speak on it.
Question is by V. Chandra. Why cannot have entrepreneur success stories in our curriculum?
Yes, I agree with you. We must have entrepreneurial success stories in our curriculum, but whatever we are teaching, whether we are teaching civil engineering, mechanical engineering, or history, or other things, first of all, as teachers, we must understand that we have the duty to create job providers in the society. When we understand our duty, then we commit ourselves to this duty. Then automatically when we are discussing with the students, so we can always provide lot of information about successful entrepreneurs. Anything may or may not be in the curriculum. It is not the question of curriculum, right? It is the question of our own commitment towards it. If we are educating them to seek just jobs, and not only jobs but government jobs, then anything coming in the syllabus, the success stories of entrepreneurs will not help. So as far as higher education is concerned, I think that we should discuss with them the feeling of prosperity, and it is my responsibility to participate meaningfully in the society. I must have prosperity within myself, and I must be able to fulfill my physical needs myself, and I should not be dependent on some other job or some other. हमें समाज में नौकर नहीं बनाने हैं, हमें समाज में मालिक बनाने हैं, तो इस चीज को पहले खुद समझना, तो फिर तो आज गूगल के जमाने में, इंटरनेट के जमाने में सक्सेस स्टोरीज तो कोई मुश्किल नहीं है खुद भी ढूंढना, और सिलेबस में हो चाहे नहीं हो। लेकिन ये बहुत ठीक एस्पेक्ट आपने जिक्र किया है। यू हैव पॉइंटेड आउट राइट क्वेश्चन दैट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप must be glorified in our education system, and specifically in higher education and technical education. Today, unfortunately, job and government job and security of job, that kind of things are being glorified, which is creating havoc, and we are having large number of people in depression, and because of that all kind of unemployment in the society. तो कम से कम पढ़े लिखे लोगों को तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोवाइडर बनना होगा, ना कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट सीकर बनना होगा। तो ये पढ़ाई लिखाई का जो बेसिक चीज है, इसको समझना होगा।
Sir, then one more question is that how we can implement the encouragement to the student in front of talent and leadership?
Yes, as I said that first of all, for talent, we have to understand excellence. So excellence is, talent is not an individual thing only. Talent is individual as well as collective. I am very intelligent, I can solve all math problems, but I cannot live with my brothers and sisters. I cannot live happily in my married life. That is not at all talent. So this is number one, which is to be understood as far as talent is concerned. The second, for leadership, leadership is actually about knowing yourself. First, if you cannot lead yourself, your mind is saying something else and you are doing something else, that means you have conflict within yourself. So the leader has to resolve the conflicts in the team. So first of all, you have to resolve all the conflicts within yourself. So for resolving your conflicts, you have to know yourself. तो जो मैंने लीडरशिप की 3 स्टेप्स बताए कि स्वत्व को जानना, सेल्फ को जानना, फिर उस सेल्फ के मुताबिक जीना, स्वतंत्रता पूर्वक जीना, और फिर आप लीड कर सकेंगे दूसरों को भी स्वतंत्रता पूर्वक जीने के लिए। देन यू कैन लीड ए टीम। तो लीडरशिप, टैलेंट की जो आपने बात कही, उसका पर्पस और उसकी जो इनहेरेंट, क्योंकि मैं हायर एजुकेशन के टीचर्स के साथ बात कर रहा हूं, so I can talk deeply about the talent and leadership. So that's how I will say. And now on screen you can see my email address also. So you can write to me on email also. I will be happy to interact with you on email or WhatsApp or whatever thing. So I would like to say excellence, we must be conscious about individual excellence and collective excellence. And collective excellence starts from our family. If we can lead our family meaningfully, then we can lead our team meaningfully. Other groups successfully. So that's how we go from step to step. So all the leadership and team behavior is same. It is about the relationship between human to human relationship. Actually, we have to understand human to human relationship. So this is the common graduate attribute. If unfortunately, as a teacher, when we have gone through our higher education process, we were not taught about it, we have not discussed it. Now this is the time that we learn ourselves and then try to discuss it with our students so that it goes to the next generation successfully. Next.
So last question we can take, all we to listen to our heart or head?
All it is related to our heart or head?
listen to our heart or listen to our head?
This is just a kind to see both the things different. when we see ourselves as an integrated entity, it is something beyond our heart and head also, which we can see within ourselves. Some people call it soul, or some people call it atma, कोई उसको रूह कहता है, which is beyond heart and head. And it comes to our head only when we see within ourselves. This is the process of self-exploration, which I try to mention in my slides. And this is the process of education also. This is the process of self-inquiry. कि जो किताब में लिखा है उसको मान लेना, जो किसी ने भाषण में कहा है उसको मान लेना, ये एजुकेशन नहीं है. सुनना सबका, पढ़ना बहुत सारा, देखना अच्छे से, लेकिन उसको मनन करना, अपने माइंड में उसको इवेल्युएट करना. तो आपकी नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस क्या है? व्हाट इज योर नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस? नाउ दिस एक्टिविटी ऑफ नेचुरल एक्सेप्टेंस is neither the activity of heart nor the activity of head. From my side, as far as my knowledge is concerned, it can be different. Heart has a specific function of blood circulation in the body to keep body alive 24 hours till death, from birth to death. Head has a specific function to receive the signals from self which is above body, which is other than body, which leaves body when we die. And that self provides instructions to the body through brain, through our head. So that's how I understand. So let us not extend this debate, head and heart. It is, we are all one. We are an integrated entity where we are conscious and we have body. And in body, we have so many organs which are all important. Head is important, heart is important, leg is important, arm is important, digestion is important, respiration is important. So we are one. So that's how I take it. Thank you for this. If it was last question, as per organizers, then you are all welcome to write to me on, contact me on phone, on WhatsApp, on email. You can send anytime 24/7, but then I have the liberty when to respond, but I try to respond within 24 hours generally. Thank you very much.
I ask all the participants to please switch on their videos so we can take a photograph with our expert. Ashmit, ये sharing करना.
I could not understand.
सर एक वीडियो ऑन कर लें सर, ताकि एक फोटो ले ली जाए.
मैं वीडियो ऑन करना. अच्छा, ओके. चलिए मैं थोड़ा सा लाइट ठीक. आपकी फोटो के लिए 1 मिनट, सॉरी. चलिए ये स्टार्ट.
All participants, please switch on.
ठीक है जी.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your talk and giving us time for sparing your valued thoughts with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the organizers. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So, dear participant, we will be having the third session at 2:30. So we will meet at 2:30 for our second session of the day. and then we will be regularly having 3 sessions, one session from 9:15, second session from 11:30, and third session from 2:30 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Friday, because we required to be conduct a test, so we will be having a slight modification in the time. I will be giving you the time detail in the due course, but on that day we will be having a test as per the mandatory requirement of AICTE for certificate. So all the participants must have the attendance above 80% because it is mandatory requirement of the AICTE that we will be able to give the certificate only to the participant who will be having a attendance above 80%, and we will be conducting a test in which at least 60% marks must be scored by the participant, and your attendance will be automatically calculated by this software. It will be giving on the basis of how much duration you will be login for the session, and then I will be total duration of the session will be calculated, and 80% part if you are available, then it will be attendance will be marked as completed, and if the attendance is less, we will be not in the position to give you the certificate, and it will be there will be no link for feedback and all others, because AICTE will be you require to fill a feedback on the AICTE portal at the completion of the all the sessions. So after your attendance and test marks will be uploaded on the portal, and you will fill the feedback form on the ATAL portal, then your certificate will be issued by the ATAL Academy. So these are the necessary requirement you have to fulfill for getting the certificate and knowledge also. If any participant have any confusion or anything they want to ask, they can ask.
No, sir, no confusion.
Sir, this